Hello, all. Welcome to Soul Crafting with Tanushri Nugget series, where we invite industry experts, entrepreneurs, professionals from different walks of life to share their experiences in the world of leadership and business. This series has tips and actionable takeaways for women in active careers and businesses. So we have today Lakshmi Devi Menon, Managing Director and she's a seasoned IT professional with over 22 years of professional experience in the IT sector. She has a wide experience in project management and process management. A business management graduate, postgraduate, she believes that the world needs to understand India and Indian culture more than what it does today. She is a principal designer and curator of the website and handles all her administrative and creative aspects of the business. The name of the business is Expressions of India. Hello, Lakshmi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tanashri. That was a very nice introduction. And thank you for having me on this show. Actually, I liked the word nuggets. Immediately, the chicken nuggets and paneer nuggets come to the mind. So it's like, kind of an interesting name.
Yeah. So the idea is to take bite-size uh, topics, not topics, but bite-size subjects where we can digest it and we can apply it. So the whole idea is that when we talk with each other, when we are discussing and sharing our journeys, we take away those actionable tips, uh, techniques which we can apply in a everyday life. It's not just about listening to a talk or listening to somebody's business journey, or a journey that they have taken in is far more bigger than the business journey they have taken.
True.
So I want to know, Lakshmi, your journey. How did you start with Expressions of India?
Well, travel is a major passion with me and my husband, and that's the stem, or that was the beginning from where we started our journey of Expressions of India. And we had gone to Orissa in 2014, and one of the very small villages. It's an art and craft village. When we went there, we just sat down with the artists to see their work, to see how they are doing, and it was quite sad to listen to the story because this was a very flourishing village of 125 families who were doing the art of patachitra and saura, and sadly that entire village is remaining uninhabited except for 25 families. Now, being in IT profession, both me and my husband, we started thinking on how do we give these people a global, market. And that's when we started working on this idea of giving a global platform to these artists, especially the rural artists, because they have a problem with technology and expecting them to have. I mean, in 2014, technology was not as accessible as it is today. So we started working on that, and being IT professionals, it was quite easy for us to understand and gather the requirements and come up with some solution. And that's when the Expressions of India started off. So it took us 2 years to build the application, and then we moved on to launching it, which was December 2016. That was the beginning of our journey.
So that's where the whole journey started, and we are getting to access these beautiful artwork and craft work of these artisans who, since generations, are in this craft, who have been
Yes.
practicing this craft. And yes, I so truly agree with you. Even I had been to Bhuj. That is another um crafting paradise, I would say, where people are living in abject poverty and have no
Yes.
means to get connected to this modern contemporary urban lifestyle that people are living. Whoever comes buy stuff goes, but that's that. And there are
Yes.
award winning artisans, in fact,
Yes.
but the
Yes.
conditions in which they live is really my heart went out to them. And uh, I was working in my handcrafting business then, and I could realize that there is a lot to see beyond this city life that we have.
Yes.
I'm so
What is
glad.
happening
Yeah.
in rural India is today the children are going in for their education, and as they grow up, the aspirations that they have, does not include learning this art, this rich traditional art from their parents and their grandparents. They think it's a little down market. So they think, oh, we should go to the cities, we should be living in flats, we should be earning in a different profession. But what they are forgetting is that the natural history, the natural tradition of our country is so rich. If
Rich.
they invest their time, their energy into learning it, they can really, really do very well. There are a lot of artists who have actually come from really deep root levels, and today they charge like crazy. But these guys, they do not like to get into it, because, and it's, if you look at the craft side, it'll be mostly women doing this work.
Yes. Yes.
And it'll be the men who probably go out, they start doing the marketing and all, but primarily it is the women who are the artists. And in our case, nearly 64% of our our arts are made by women. And we have currently covered about 8 states, and we do the traditional art as well as the contemporary art. So contemporary art is like, okay, they
Yeah.
don't have too much of this thing, but the traditional art forms of India, there are many dying arts as well.
True.
So our journey has been to empower these rural artists by giving them human dignity. We want them to understand that what they are doing is very, very precious and rare. And that's the kind of feeling that we are trying to bring in these artists.
True. That pride is important. Uh,
Yes.
we have such a rich knowledge base, craft base, art base. Uh, I don't know why we are just shocking it away, because I think that there is a huge issue of awareness on
Yes.
what it is, how it is. We were naturally eco-friendly from
Yes.
all these years.
Yes.
I mean, through centuries, we have been having eco-friendly art and craft. But,
Yes.
now with the Western influence of eco-friendliness, I hope people embrace the work that these artisans put their heart and soul into it.
I think it's high time we Indians start respecting our own art and craft and culture, because it's too rich. The philosophy behind it is so deep. Unless we understand that, it's
True.
difficult to bring about this change.
I'm so glad you started off with expressions of, and the name is so apt, Expressions of India. I fell in love with the first time I heard this name, and I was so glad to see the color in your website. It was like bright. It was very earthy, and I could simply connect to those artworks because I love craft and art by default.
Thank
That is like uh, that's my second nature. So
you.
Lakshmi, uh, just share with us these things. You know what, there are a lot of women, there are a lot of other people, I mean, who are currently in their jobs maybe right now. Yes, they also look at this part where they feel that they are more connected to the art and craft part, or the ethnic part, or the culture part of our country, and there are things that they would like to do a business in. But sometimes we step back and we feel that, oh, this is not a viable business idea. This is not something that can work. I have a stable job. I have a steady income going on. Why disturb that? But what were your challenges? I would like to know, because you have jumped right into this. You are
Yeah.
managing, you are also a process consultant, and also you work this on the side. How
Yeah.
was your experience or challenges while building this business?
Well, it wasn't very easy, because as a woman, you have the responsibility of a home. You are also working as a consultant for some company, as well as you're starting off your own business. So, juggling the three things, believe me, I feel I am one of the best jugglers in the world, because three balls, and you keep rotating. It's not easy. But what worked for me was a major support from my husband and my family. Without that, it would have been impossible. That was one of the major challenges for me. And my I have was one son. He was very small when we started off, so it was a huge effort on my family's side to take care of him and ensure that he doesn't miss his mom when things are happening. A lot of people think that, when you start off your own business, it's your time, it's your pace. It isn't.
Oh,
It is all, in fact, more stressful. It is more on time consuming, and it is more responsibility, because here you yourself have to do everything.
true.
Okay, and funding is one of the basic things. Now, bootstrapping is one common phrase that everybody uses. Unless you have funding, nothing works. Till the time that you get enough funding, you have to do everything yourself. It's very easy for people to say, okay, why don't you outsource this? Why don't you do that? Where is the money going to come for that?
True.
So, funding has to be something which you have to give a very, very long thought for. And when you are if you are starting off your own business, you need to do a lot of research. Okay, one, what is the area in which you're going? You need to do your market research. You need to do what are the registrations that you require, what are the legal things that you require. There is a huge amount of things that you have to do before you even launch your product.
True.
The website designing, what is a marketing channel. And a lot of people today feel that, okay, oh, marketing and sales and network, this is like, it just comes like that. No, it doesn't. Networking is not about going and meeting thousands of people. It's just not that. Networking is all about creating an impression on people such a way that the moment they think art and craft, it should be expressions of India.
True.
And it's not easy making that thing work.
Right.
That's not easy. It's not about, I can always say that I know thousands of people. So what? But how many of them remember, okay, I need to pick up a gift for somebody. Can I talk to Lakshmi?
True.
I don't know. So that's one thing. Second thing, when we start up, mostly on a, whatever scale we start up, we always think, oh, friends and family. If we tell them, they will buy, and then, we get our business going. Doesn't work.
Right.
Friends and family, due apologies. Yes, they are well wishers. They will tell us every possible shortfall that we can have. Like, when we wanted to start our own brand, the first impression was, why do you want to create your own brand? Why don't you just be a seller on Amazon? Why don't you be a seller on Flipkart? Because our basic values were different. We
Right.
didn't want to be going to an aggregator, because our thing was educating the people about the rich art and craft of India, educating the rural artists that they need not run behind the tourist cars to sell their wares, educating the rural artists that they do not have to compromise with their dignity to earn money, educating the children that the precious art that their parents are doing is something that they should learn and take forward. This is our history, our culture. So our principles was not something which everybody understood. Yes, every possible risk that we identified in our business came from our well wishers, because everyone would put in their thoughts. If you do this, this will not work. Tell us what might work. So that was the second thing. Third thing, everybody thinks, oh, marketing and sales is the same thing. No, it's not. Marketing is a very different concept, selling is a very different concept. So, how do you market? It was the time when social media was not so prevalent, so we never knew how to go about with it. We never gave a thought into that. Mostly our marketing was word of mouth.
Yeah.
And the fact that, so it was like marketing, I came to know about the social media thing, or rather I started getting into it only by 2018, late 2018 to be more precise. But yes, it is strong, because I started getting unknown people following me. I started getting orders because people started liking what we were doing.
Mm.
So one thing is social media. Second thing is, whom do you approach? You see, what happens here is that a lot of people think that we are aggregators. We are not. We are people who are trying to promote the rural artists to different people. So interior designers. Actually, if you look at the established ones, they already have a line or their own set of preferred vendors. Why would they choose us? Trust building with the clients. It was an online portal. It is an online portal. So the clients cannot touch and feel your creations. A
Yeah,
lot of people like to do that. Third thing, these artists are losing because one person goes and buys their craft for, say, 800 rupees. Okay, the next thing is they digitize it and they sell the same thing for 200 rupees. So, whoever buys, why would they buy an 800 when you have the same thing in 200?
true.
Now, that kind of an education is what we lack. You see, in a corporate, since I have worked in a corporate, year on year, we expect our salary increases. We expect a bigger bonus. We say, oh, we have 20 years of experience. I should be getting X amount of money. But when I go to a rural artist who probably has been in that profession for 60 years, 70 years, I expect to bargain with that person. And I always come back saying, oh, that guy is selling for 200. Why are you selling it for 2000?
True.
You need to understand. I have clients who come and bargain. You are 25% higher than the market. Please go. Buy with whoever you think matches your budget. So understanding it, that is one thing when we get orders from foreign countries. They actually value our thing because one, they like to see the authentic stuff,
True.
and that is the kind of education we lack today. And that is what we are trying to give people. Whenever somebody bargains with us, we just say, please choose people whom you are comfortable with. This is our standard. There is a certain trust that we bring with our products. There's a certain quality that we bring with our product. We curate each piece. Why? Because when somebody is buying our thing, you should actually understand what is the history behind it.
True.
So
Agree.
every piece is curated. I myself sit down with the artist and curate the pieces. So yes, these are some of the learnings that we've had from our venture.
Thanks for that heartful sharing, Lakshmi, because yes, people see the fancy side of entrepreneurship, of business, of online websites, and they fall prey to the thing that this is my time. I can be my own boss, and I can rule my time. But that's not there. Be it a job. I was just talking with Aarti also, and that's when I was saying that we were both were resonating the same thing. Be it a job or a business, yes, there is only difference is there. You have an independence of your opinion and the way of working. You can add to it, which maybe your
Yeah,
job might not let you do completely.
right.
Thankfully, if you have good managers, if you have good management, then it works out. But not everyone gets that benefit. But yes, when we are launching ourselves into a business, a thorough research, like you mentioned, thorough research is required,
Yes.
and also the idea that what is the reach of your concept in the market. So when you
Yes.
are talking about the market, you have to find out how many people are really aware of these things.
Right.
And I think as a business, a major part goes in education or awareness to our audience as to
Yes.
what our concept is, why we are doing it, and why is
Yes.
it important today.
Absolutely.
I mean, some people work in upcycling, some people work in repurposing, some people work in bringing the artisans, like you are bringing the artisans up to the fore. But so much of the education part is required to get these products on the
Yes.
shelf and also
Yeah.
to be bought by the audience. Do you have
Yes.
any parting message for us, Lakshmi? I mean, you made a very valid point with networking, marketing, sales, with awareness that is required, with research that is required. And I'm so happy that you really shared and covered all these points
Thank you.
today.
I guess my parting message would be that, starting a business is not easy. There are two main things which you have to concentrate. One is perseverance and patience. Every time you fall down, you have to get up. And that comes only if you're passionate about it. And as you rightly mentioned, if your why is strong. you will
Wise,
get
true,
up.
true.
You have to get up.
Have to. I'm
And
and such a perfect message, Lakshmi, because this is not to scare you, dear ladies. Whoever is trying to take that step out in this or venture towards business or entrepreneurship, this is not to scare you, but this is more to help you with our experiences, with experiences of people who have walked that path before you. And this is only to make you aware and be prepared for what is going to come. It is a soul
correct.
satisfying journey. Whatever said and done, it's a soul satisfying journey. I would definitely, tell everyone to take a leap into entrepreneurship. But yes, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Not because it's not possible, but everyone has different situations and challenges to, face. But what Lakshmi mentioned about perseverance, be consistent, be there. Just
Yes.
believe that your dream is worth taking a leap into.
And one thing is that failures are inevitable in any business. Unless you fail, unless you learn, you need to be open to continuously learning and unlearning,
True.
because you will keep changing your strategies with every experience of yours. So
Yeah.
you have to have a very different attitude if you need to be in business. Never give up.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. 10 times you fall, 11th time get up, 11th time you fall, 12th time you get up, but keep getting up.
Right. And that's the whole idea. You don't stop, just keep moving on. Awesome. Thanks, Lakshmi. Thanks for taking time out and sharing this beautiful nuggets with our viewers and listeners.
Thank you so much, Tanushree. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, viewers and listeners, the links to Lakshmi's business and online presence is given in the description below. So, we'll join you in the next episode. Until then, stay safe, stay inspired. Peace, love, and light. Tanushri signing off.
Thank you.